Hi folks, Donnie D. This is Donnie D. The other day I did a video on the range report on my Savage Axis 308, and I mentioned that the only thing I didn't like about it was the trigger pull or trigger weight. And there's supposed to be a really easy fix for that, or at least to improve it, and I'm going to make an attempt to do it today. So someone asked that I make a video while I did it, so why not? So I'll give it a shot. Maybe I won't screw it up too bad. What I'm going to do is remove the trigger and cut about 1.5 coils out of the trigger spring, and that's supposed to lighten it up to from a 6-pound pull down to about a 3.5 or 4-pound pull. So and hopefully it will not make the gun unsafe. I'm going to try to be really careful, but anyway, here goes. In the interest of time, I went ahead and took the barrel assembly and trigger assembly out of the stock. If you just take the two stock screws out, you don't even have to remove the magazine. The whole shooting match will come right out. You don't have to remove the trigger guard or the magazine or anything. Just take those two screws out and it'll come right out. The long screw goes toward the back of the gun. The short screw goes to the front. Just make sure you don't lose them. So first thing I've got to do is remove. It's kind of hard for you to see, I know, but I've got to remove this little what do you call them? Snap rings or washer or whatever you call it, keeper washer, something like that. I've got a tool over there for it, but this one is so small it won't fit, so I've just got to do it with a screwdriver. So probably going to kind of hide what I'm doing from you, but I'll try to make it so you can see. Go ahead and make sure the rifle is cocked and pull the bolt out of your way a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pry this washer off, hopefully. Whoop, whoo boy. By the way, anytime, you just saw what happened, anytime you're working with small parts like this, I learned this from working on RC helicopters, good idea to get you a light colored or a white terry cloth towel. Seems like most of these parts are black or dark or something like that, metal parts, and it does two things. It makes it so you can see them better. There it is right there. Here's the piece I just took off. You've seen these things before. And it also keeps them from bouncing if you drop them. It kind of grabs them, and it kind of helps a little bit in keeping you from losing stuff. Let me get me a punch and I'll get this pin out. Alright, next I'm supposed to push this pin right here through. Let me see if I can get that done. Alrighty, got it out. Set it over here so it doesn't get lost, hopefully. And let's lift the trigger right on out. And it looks like it hasn't been done. I wasn't even sure if it had been done for sure, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start where the spring starts and go all the way around to right back to where it starts and cut it. And that'll get one coil out of it. Wear safety glasses because you don't want this mess popping and flying in your face. That's a tough spring there. Might have to use the old Dremel tool. There we go. Alright, that's one coil. So now I'm going to go from where I just cut it halfway around. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance and do what everybody else I've heard that does this does. They take about 1.5 coils out, and that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully I don't make the gun unsafe, but if I do, I can always either stretch the string out or order a new spring, start over. Well, that's a tough one though. There we go. Alrighty, now I should be able to just reinsert it in the gun, hopefully. Let's see, shove that spring down in that hole. Get my pin back in there, hopefully. Alright, she's back in. Let's see what it feels like now. Oh yeah, it does feel a bit lighter. Alright, let's hope that I just hit it and made it trip, but that wasn't a very fast test. I hit it right on the sear. It feels a little better, and hopefully it'll make it a little more accurate and make it a little bit easier for me to shoot. We'll find out, and what I'm going to do is once I get it all back together, well, I'll show you how to do that too, but once I get it all back together, I'm going to bang on her a little bit and make sure that the gun is still safe. Let me, whoops, almost forgot. Got to put my little washer back on. Make sure we get that. Hold on a minute. Hope you can see this, sort of. Okay. Got the washer back on. Alright, let me get this stuff out of the way here. And in order to get the gun back together, all we got to do is just drop it right carefully, just lay it right back into the stock. Real careful, right? Drop the long screw. Let me show you again. The long screw, just drop it right in this hole. Take your Allen key and get it started. The short screw goes up in this front hole here, right in front of the magazine. Get that started. And by the way, my title is rather misleading. It said Donnie D's Savage Axis Trigger Job. I'm not the one that came up with that way to do this. I'm not a gunsmith. I don't know jack. I just found it online and saw where several people looked like they knew what they were doing anyway, had used it, and I decided to do it. And the only reason I made the video is a couple of folks on the some of the forums had asked me to. So let's see how it does. I believe it does feel a bit lighter, but it's really kind of hard to tell until I go out and shoot it. This is just a spent case, and I just want to drop in there and just for fun, see if that matters. Shouldn't. Well, I'm banging on it pretty good, and it's not going off, so I guess the gun is still safe. But anyway, that was pretty easy and quick. I hope the video was good enough to help you. But anyway, for now, it's Donnie D for the old Savage Axis easy trigger modification. I don't know what the trigger pull was or what it is because I don't have anything to measure it with. Just know it felt awful heavy to me. But anyway, for now, this is Donnie D, and I'll see you later. Bye.